Now we're at step 20, which asks us to have a pop-up right in front. With right sides together, pin lining to bag over tote straps, matching side seams, and having upper edges even. Stitch 1.5 inch from upper edge and trim seam. If you put in a zipper, yours probably looks like this right now. If you didn't put in a zipper, you won't have this white bit, so don't worry if you don't have this. If your exterior of your bag is not already turned right side out, turn it that way now. But then get your lining, and you're gonna keep that wrong side out, and you're gonna put the exterior bag inside the lining of the bag.
Pretty sides kissing again.
Yes, so the pretty sides are sandwiched in there. Now here's an important part. You have to tuck your straps in on both sides.
But in between the lining and
Yes.
the outside of the bag.
Yes.
Not inside the bag.
Right. Otherwise you will, and this has happened, I've had students do this, you will sew your lining, or you sew your straps inside your bag and your bag will be strapless.
Yeah.
Actually, you'll just have to come and take it out. So you're gonna find the side seams on both of them and come and match those up. So, so this is where we make the seams match and we pin there. And then we come to the other side and we match the side seam up there next. And then we go work from these side seams and pin towards the center and hopefully, oh, see, look what I did there. I didn't have good back stitching there. So I'm just gonna have to make sure that I pin them both sides and they don't gap as I sew over them. Oh, look, there's some blood.
Ouch.
No. All right, if you're lucky, you should match up pretty exactly around this whole thing. So you're gonna pin around the top and then we're gonna sew around the top at 1/2 inch seam allowance. I don't know if I actually covered this or I covered it in the video that wound up getting deleted because I didn't like how the zipper went in and I made a new video to give you a way for the zipper to go in easier. But if you have a machine that's mounted on a table, you are gonna have to sew it with your bag going like this. But your machine might be like mine and you can pull on this box and sometimes you have to give it a good tug, but it pops off. And then you can
It gives you more room to circle, to sew your circle.
Yeah. Okay, finishing. It doesn't matter where you start. On this bag, you're just gonna sew around until you lap the whole thing.
Will you sew the sides of the liner too, or are you just sewing the top?
The sides are already sewn.
Will you sew those to the bag?
What do you mean?
We just put the bag inside the liner.
Yep.
Are you only stitching around the top?
Only around
to
the top.
attach it?
Yeah. Yes, that's a good question. Only around the top. All right, so 1/2 inch. Occasionally, you might hit a part with some bulk, like where some side seams are, and if that's the case, you just give a gentle tug on the back to kind of feed it through the seam allowance. So sometimes these won't be exactly even and I'm starting to develop a pucker here. That's okay. If anything, if you can push it towards your side seam and get it to pucker right in the side seam, it'll look just part of that fold. The whole way around, take it off. Then you are going to go around the inside and the outside to check that you've caught both layers the whole way around. And also check the outside and the inside for puckers. They can be corrected now but can't be corrected later. So I'm looking around my whole line of stitching and on the top side too.
What's a pucker?
So a pucker is like where the fabric is folded.
Bunchy.
Yes. Oh yeah. So another thing to check for is that none of this came up like.
Oh, it's folded over and the stitches. Okay. Yeah.
I don't have any. If you do, you don't have to rip out the whole thing. You only have to rip out before
right
and
there,
after. Yes.
And then just go back over it.
That part.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But if you're good there, you've finished step 20.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.